You're on.
Dale Harris, and I'm the second son of Oscar Harris and Maud. And with me is most of my family and grandchildren. So this is Bobby Joe. And
You're supposed to tell them what you do.
what do I do? I'm retired. After serving a term in of San Quentin, it was the Navy. That's what it was. I went to Ohio State briefly and quit because of family concerns, and I worked for publishing companies and newspapers for a number of years. And in 1970, 70, 71, 72, along in there sometime, I went back to college and I got my degree, and I taught school for 18 years, and I retired in 1995, and we are now living about 3 miles outside of Athens, Ohio, and that's about it. And I'm enjoying retirement and family things, and this is the family.
Thank you very much.
Most of them, not all of us here, but most of them are here, and I'm glad that we can all...
He left out his hobby. His hobby is woodworking. He does beautiful woodworking. And I'm Bobby Joe. My hobby is taking pictures. And I sell advertising just to businesses. And this is our oldest son, Robert.
And I'm Bob Harris. I teach economics at Indiana University, Purdue University, Indianapolis, IUPUI. And
You have a hobby?
Pilot.
I enjoy flying, pilot, I enjoy flying.
And this is his lovely wife.
This is my wife, Bonnie.
Tell us about yourself, Bonnie.
I'm an investigative reporter for the Indianapolis Star, and I risk my life flying in the car. That's my hobby.
Okay.
That is Bob is my hobby.
All right.
I guess I'm next now. I'm Nancy Robertson. My husband is Jack. He's back at home. We live in Chillicothe, Ohio. I'm an art teacher. I teach elementary and high school art. And I have about 600 students. My stepdaughter is not here. Her name is Leah Dawn. My daughter is Anya and Michael. And my son is Michael, and she just graduated from college, and he graduated from high school a year ago. And do you want to send it to Joe, or she has hobbies? My hobby is driving around the country, going to the unions. Anyway.
I am Joe Carpenter. This is my husband, Mike, and I have a pet sitting service. We live next door to Mom and Dad in Athens, Ohio, and we have Kate and Robert, and my hobbies are, we have a pig, a 600-pound pig.
He's a pet.
A horse?
And a horse and a donkey and a pigeon. And
Big Walter.
yes. Why are you leaving?
And this young man over here is Dale Franklin William Christopher Thacker.
Long name.
And he came with Joe and Mike. He's been on a camping trip. He lives in Chillicothe, Ohio.
And he is the son of...
And he is the son of our daughter, Sheila.
Who is not here. Living in Lawrenceville, Georgia?
Yes. I think that's all of us.
Sheila, our oldest daughter, Sheila, is living in Lawrenceville, Georgia, and we see her occasionally. And Bob's two boys, Christopher lives in Lawrenceville, Georgia also, and he and his wife, Christopher is his name, and his wife is Vicki, and Vicki has a son by a previous marriage. And
his name is Houston.
Yeah, Houston is his name. And Ted is in California, and he is in graduate school at
UC Davis.
UC Davis. Yeah.
That's all.
And That's how it sums it up.
I'm Dorothy Harris, and I'm the daughter of Oscar and Maud. And I was married to Bob Gallup in 1951, and he passed away several years later, in 1967. And then a few years later, I married Bill Hula. I had 3 Gallup sons. The oldest one is Rodney, and the middle one is George, and the youngest one is Don, and they're all big problems, and have been ever since I enjoy quilting as my hobby, and I do a lot of volunteer work. I was county treasurer for 18 years, and I worked for an insurance company for 3 years. After their dad had passed away, and I retired when I was in my 50s and enjoyed every minute of it.
And you have another 1 license plate?
And
Because?
I have a number 1 license plate. Not very many of them around. It gets me in good places sometimes. So I guess that's about it.
Introduce your sons.
Introduce your sons, please.
Oh, this is Rodney, my oldest.
My name?
And have them say
Thank you. Yeah, my name is Rod Gallup, and I live in Englewood, Colorado, which is a suburb of Denver. I am employed by South Metro Fire Rescue, and what I do with them is fix all the stuff that firemen break. And that's a lot of stuff. I keep real busy. Probably the best thing I ever did, I wasn't as much trouble as she claims. Or maybe I was. I just, I cut a wide path for my younger brothers. They owe me. That's all from here. George, you're up.
to your right.
I'm George Gallup. I'm the middle son, the problem child of the family. This is my son Peyton, my wife Diane. This is Ryan, my son. And we live in Mandeville, Louisiana. Roxanne could not be here. We have a daughter, Roxanne, and a granddaughter, Caitlin, that couldn't be here. I work for a company called Certex. It's a marine and industrial supply. We do a lot of supply for offshore oil rigs.
Do you have a hobby?
Hobby?
That's it.
That's hobby too.
No hobby? No hobbies. I'm a photographer. I like fly fishing and bird watching. There's Don, the youngest of the family.
I'm Don Gallup. I was born in 1956. This is my wife Lisa, my son Bobby, and my daughter Samantha Malou. She has several names. And my son Bobby is named after my father. His name is Robert Donald. I'm currently, 43 years old, and can say that for another couple of months. I work for a company called the Sandia Corporation, and they operate Sandia National Laboratories where I work. I've been an engineer there for 19 years now, and have worked in a number of positions there. Currently I'm working in the field of cryptography. So my main hobby is backpacking. And the thing I do for my children, which I truly enjoy myself, is I coach their soccer teams, and we have a lot of fun playing soccer.
Okay. Lisa?
That's it.
Lisa, the organizer.
Okay.
I'm Lisa Gallup.
Yes.
Little fingernail.
On your dad's lap.
I'm Lisa, and this family is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Get up on your dad's lap.
We homeschool our kids, which is great. We backpack and hike, and we all love dogs. That's our claim to fame.
All right. All right.
I'm Don Harris, better known as Donald Alvin Harris, son of Oscar Alvin Harris and Maud Osborne. I was born in 1925 on a farm between Irving and Blue Rapids, Kansas. Went to high school in Blue Rapids, went to the University of Kansas after having been in the service in 1943 to 1945. Graduated from the university, went to work in Tulsa, Oklahoma, met my wife Julie, and thereafter came son Michael, son Matthew, and daughter Gail.
Not in that order, though.
No.
Not in that order. I spent some 30 years in the employ of Sun Oil Company, crude oil trading and refinery transportation. And it's been a great life. Retired now in Houston. And mangling the game of golf. I'll turn this over to Julie.
You could add to that what he left out, or
What he left
continue
out.
on, yes.
I think he covered it all.
Yes, and you could tell him about yourself.
I am Julie, and we worked together at the oil company. Married after 6 months of dating secretly, because we weren't supposed to be dating in that company. We lived in Philadelphia. We now live in Houston. Our children are all grown and married, and while Don plays golf, I play bridge, and I also do volunteer work for the Museum of Fine Arts. I'm a Speakers Bureau docent, and we do Meals on Wheels, volunteer work. Wish our other 2 children were here. Our daughter Gail is the oldest, and our son Michael is next, and I'll just introduce him.
I'm John Michael Harris, go by Mike. This is my family, my wife Kimberly, my daughter Amanda, and my son Chris. I'm a certified public accountant working in industry. Had a few jobs over the years. Provided us some opportunities to travel a lot. One of the highlights in my life was spending a year overseas, working in the Middle East and traveling. Enjoyed that very much. currently enjoy Indian guides and Indian trail mix programs with my kids. I've volunteered a lot of my time there. And it's not so much volunteer work as it is just a lot of fun. Most recently, Chris and I, about a year ago, began taking karate together, and we enjoy that. And we rock climb. This is my wife, Kimberly.
And I'm so thrilled about the rock climbing.
She's afraid of heights.
Thanks, dear. I am a stay-at-home mom, and I paint and do a lot of different things and do a lot with the kids. And I'm the custodian of 4 dogs, my grandmother's parrot, who's 38, tankfuls of fish. And it keeps me busy.
Tankfuls of fish is not the parrot's name.
Nugget. It's my heirloom from my grandmother.
This is our daughter, Amanda.
Hi, I'm Amanda. I enjoy singing, acting, and dancing. And I had my 13th birthday yesterday.
Yes. Amanda, can you do a split for us now? Let's see it. Come on. Here we go. Do we have a split now, Alice?
We got it.
I'm Christopher Michael Harris, better known at school as Chris. I enjoy rock climbing, karate, and my most favorite sport is soccer. And most of all, I enjoy Indian guides and spending time with my dad.
And how old are you now?
And I am 10 years old right now, and I'm going to be 11 on December 7th. Pearl Harbor Day. You want to see a trick?
Challenge again.
Yeah.
And my younger brother, Matt, this is his wife, Norma, and his wonderful children. And Norma can take it from here.
Good.
I'm Norma Harris, and I'm married to Matt, who couldn't be here because he just got a new job, and we live in Hong Kong for the past 4.5 years. He's now working for Chase Manhattan Bank. We met working together as bankers, but now in Hong Kong I don't work, I play tennis. And this is our daughter Angela, who's the oldest.
I'm Angela, I'm 8 years old, and I've been learning Mandarin for 3 years, and my favorite sports are swimming and tennis. I used to have tennis lessons, but can't because I'm having Chinese. And
Can you speak some Chinese for us? Count or something?
my name in Chinese is Xia Ailing, and that's in Mandarin.
This is our youngest daughter, Jennifer. Jennifer's 5 years old. Can you say something, Jennifer? Anything?
Your favorite thing, Jennifer? Tell us.
My favorite thing is swimming.
And you speak a lot of Mandarin too, don't you? Say something in Mandarin. Say happy birthday in Mandarin.
Please, Jennifer.
Angela will sing with you.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. 祝你生日快乐，祝你生日快乐，祝你生日快乐，祝你生日快乐。
Harris family dinner. We're downstairs in the bar waiting for them to find a place for us to eat. Waiting
Rapids at Maud and Oscar Harris, and I went to school in Blue Rapids, graduated from Blue Rapids High School, and the month after high school I went to Beatrice, Nebraska, went to beauty school, and I am still working as a hairdresser, and that's what I've done my whole life. And I have 3 children. My oldest son, Greg, lives in St. Joe. He has 2 girls, Tracy and Robin. And this is my other son, Mike. And he has 2 children. And then I have a daughter that has 4 children. And
Hobbies?
no, the others couldn't be here, so Mike is the only one of my children that could be here. And then this is his wife, Belinda, and her daughter, Jessica, and my great-granddaughter, Charlotte, and this is my daughter's son, Mason Brown.
My name's Mike, and Belinda and I live in Lenexa, Kansas, and we have 2 children, Jessica and Charlotte, who you've met, and we have a son, Dylan, who just graduated this month from DePaul University, and he's still in Chicago. He couldn't make the trip. But Belinda and I are going to have our 29th wedding anniversary July 31st this year. And so far it's going okay. We're going to give it 1 more year, and then we'll make another decision after that. But yeah, life is good. Life's great. We've got, what do I do? Not much. Actually, I'm a registered nurse, and I work as an organ procurement transplant coordinator in Kansas City. And what do you do? Anything?
What do I do? I'm Belinda, and I'm originally from St. Louis, Missouri. And I met Mike in high school. And we started dating when we were 17 and been together ever since. I have a degree in organizational communications. I got that. It took me 22 years. But after 2 children and a marriage, I finally accomplished that. I am a management consultant. After 23 years in the insurance industry, I went out on my own and started my own business and started doing consulting, and have just recently joined a firm, H&R Block, doing management consulting. And what we like to do, other than family things, is we like theater. Theater has always been a very important part of our life, and as a result, our son Dylan, Mike didn't add that he graduated with a degree in acting. So we have a budding actor in our family, so we can all be watching for him on the marquee someday, Dylan Lauer. And so now I'll turn that over to Jessica.
I'm Jessica Martini. My husband is Bill Martini, and he's not able to be here. We have been married for 4 years in April, and this is our daughter Charlotte, and she's 3. And my husband is still a full-time student as well as a stay-at-home dad, and he's getting his degree in English and he hopes to teach. And I have a degree in accounting, and so I'm currently an accountant. And basically, we have a 3-year-old, so that's mostly what we do. And what do you like to do best, Charlotte? She likes to dance. She's a troublemaker. She's very energetic. So. And then I'll let Mason tell about his family.
Oh. Okay.
Charlotte.
I'm Mason Bruns. My mom is Lori. I have 3 little sisters. Abby, who is the oldest, she's gonna be 15 this year. Mackenzie, who is like my middle-aged sister, she'll be I think 12. Yeah, she'll be 12. And then my youngest sister, Chelsea, just turned 6 this last April. I'm going to, well, I'm on break right now. I'm going back to school. Work as like a shift manager for Godfather's Pizza. And that's about all my time right there.
What are you studying for?
I don't know yet.
Just take the general course.
I'm not sure what I want to do yet. Yeah, I'm 18, if that makes any difference.
I'm not supposed to.
We're not young, not mentally. I think I'm probably about 6.
Any of his last words? Yes?
We're the same age.
All say goodbye.
Wave at the camera. All right, thank you. This is the place. But it's just part of the fun of being on a family trip.
Whenever you're ready.
I'm Alice Chedamore, and this is my husband Roger. And my ancestry is traced back to my mother, who was a sister to Uncle Oscar, who is the cause of all this Harrison tribe that we've met today. And Roger and I grew up in Oregon, and he grew up in New York. And the way we got together was we both of us decided to go to school in Colorado, and we both were majoring in Christian education, and that's how we happened to meet.
He was very compatible.
Right? When I first met him, he was engaged to another girl.
Only one?
That ended, and then our romance started, and in between finishing up school, I taught school, and he finished his degree work, and then eventually we worked in Salt Lake City. He was a youth pastor there, and then we moved to back to Oregon, where my family have lived all these years, and where I'm originally from and educated in the state of Oregon. And we had twin boys, and would you like to tell about those?
Amen. They were identical twins. We thank the Lord for that. I feel like Jacob and Esau. And they were so much alike, we had to keep the name tags around the wrist when we took them home, so we didn't feed one twice and starve the other. It was great. And Alice quit her teaching so she could be bonded with the kids at a young age and feed them up. She did a great job. I'm very thankful to the Lord for what you've done with the boys.
Their names were Brian and Bradley.
Brian and Bradley. And they're both doing well in Denver, Colorado. One is a production manager for a Christian television station, and Bradley is also a Christian, building houses, skilled work.
And we have 5 grandchildren, thanks to our boys, which we really love. And in fact, that's where we're headed right now after our experience of being with your family. Let's go to Denver and spend some time with our personal family, too. And I'm still teaching school, and Roger is planning on retiring in another year from being a custodian. He's had enough of that cleaning business.
Life is messy. I clean it up.
And I'm planning on teaching a few more years if I can to get a little bit more into my retirement time. And so we have some money to spend driving to Denver to visit our kids. And this is my sister Carol, and I'll let her tell about herself and her family.
Hi, I'm Carol Harrison now, and I'm the 3rd child of 4 children born to Gerald and Lenore Spelt. And Lenore was a Harris. I have been married to Glenn for 38 years. We just celebrated our anniversary last week. And ours is today. That's 33. We have 2 lovely daughters. Nancy is 32. She lives in Portland and is presently working at Meyer Frank, which is a department store. Our other daughter is Sherry, and Sherry married last year. It'll be 2 years November. And she has a little girl named Raina. And Raina is 7 months old, and we're so happy to have her in our family. Love her. And Sherry is a teacher also. She teaches physical education. And Rex has his own business in property management. Now, Glenn.
Okay. tend to escape things. We tend to like travel, so do quite a bit of that. And I tend to do quite a bit of volunteer work through historical kinds of things, to state work on the retirement board and Teacher Status and Practice Association. I have 7 governor appointments so far. Been involved with retired teachers and retired educators. Been the president for the last 5 years of retired educators.
And he spent 32 years teaching math. I think that's pretty good.
They're teenagers.
Wow.
His is hired for 7 years now.
Okay, now who can do the splits?
I forgot to mention that I also was in education. Isn't that awful? All that.
And our sister that has passed away was also an educator. And then since Roger was an educator, so we had a whole family full of teachers.
And we also had a younger brother named Harold Gordon, and he passed away in 1977. And Oscar's sister, Jessie Peak, lived in Albany in a nursing home, and Alice and I were sort of kind of taking care of her as much as we could. And she passed away last September.
She was 93.
Same age as Dad, was that?
Yes, isn't that interesting? Right.
A verse that means a lot to all of us is Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not upon your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct your paths. We believe the Lord has directed our paths from all of us, and we're glad to be here too.
Thank you for inviting us. We really appreciate it.
We had a great time.
We have a granddaughter named Lydia Weinberger, who's the daughter of our daughter Sheila. She graduated from high school in this past June, and she's quite talented musically, and she was planning to go to college, but she is still kind of up in the air about what she wants to do, but she is quite talented, and she graduated high in her high school graduation class. So I failed to mention it when we were...
Okay, Donald, do you want to tell about your family?
Yes, in my forgetfulness, I failed to mention that my daughter Gail, who lives in Oklahoma City, is employed by Chase McClellan Insurance, and has a daughter, Christine, who graduated just this past month from Oklahoma State University, and currently lives in Stillwater, Oklahoma. I might add a little bit about Gail, with whom we've been very proud. After high school, when we lived in the Philadelphia area, Gail attended Villanova University and surprised us with joining Naval ROTC as the first woman in the United States to do so. Also, she was a basketball player, a volleyball player for the university, and pursuant to that, when we moved to Texas, she attended the University of Texas, played volleyball, continued her ROTC work, but declined to make the commitment for a career.
I was very much impressed.